Welcome back to the Beauty Bulletin, your bi-weekly roundup of the biggest stories shaping the beauty world right now. Let's dive in. First up in industry news, Bethenny Frankel has taken an ownership stake in DPHue. The premium hair color maintenance brand announced that Bethenny Frankel not only is taking a meaningful ownership stake in the company, but is also joining as the chief brand officer. In the newly created role, Frankel will work with founder Donna Pollad and the executive team to drive product innovation, brand marketing, consumer education, and category expansion. Rather than serving as just a celebrity ambassador, Frankel is going to be joining as an investor and a strategic partner as DPHue looks to accelerate growth across specialty retail, e-commerce, social commerce, and international markets. Founded to help consumers extend the life of professional color between salon visits, DPHue has built its portfolio around glosses, root touch-up solutions, and color-preserving treatments. The company says that Frankel's role will focus on strengthening consumer engagement while supporting the next phase of innovation and brand growth. This move underscores the continued momentum that we're seeing behind the salon-quality at-home hair color maintenance category. Wellness company Apothecary has landed $16 million to fuel their retail growth and product innovation. They've raised $16 million in fresh funding, with $10 million coming from venture capital and $6 million coming from debt financing. The funding, which the herbal tinctures brand considers part of its Series A round, included participation from a syndicate comprising of Shiseido, roughly 50 angel investors, next-level management, founders, and family offices. Mission-focused leader RSF Social Finance provided the debt financing. Shiseido initially invested in Apothecary through its venture arm Lyft in 2024 during the brand's pre-Series A financing. Here's a quote from George Wu, who's the managing director of Next Level Management. Quote, Apothecary is well positioned at the intersection of wellness and beauty. Its authenticity, supported by an innovative product pipeline, speaks to the needs of both men and women. The challenge for wellness brands is how they enhance daily ritual. End quote. Apothecary founder and CEO Shizu Okusa, who was a former trader, by the way, at Goldman Sachs, and is also the founder of the cold-pressed beverage brand Drink, had this to say, quote, there are two types of fundraising. One is to survive, cover your operational burn. And then the second way is to raise equity to grow faster. This was a huge opportunity to go faster, meaning we can take our existing products into retail doors, which is very expensive, end quote. This latest funding follows a period of retail growth for Apothecary. They entered Ulta Beauty in July of 2025, Whole Foods in January of 2026, and the Vitamin Shop in May earlier this year, joining earlier distribution through Free People, Sprouts, Amazon, and its direct-to-consumer e-commerce website. Apothecary is targeting $40 million in 2026 sales, and the brand sales themselves have increased between 30 and 40% year over year for the past few years. Launched in 2020, Apothecary's assortment today spans more than 12 supplements priced at $39 each, addressing energy, digestion, sleep, and stress. Metabolic booster Blue Burn is the bestseller, and the brand discloses one sells every 90 seconds, or roughly 352,000 units per year. And last up in brand news, the internet's favorite skincare brand is finally launching in the UK. This one's for my UK friends. Prequel, which is the widely popular US skincare brand that was founded by board-certified dermatologist Dr. Samantha Ellis, is officially coming to the UK, launching in Space NK. So if you have never heard of Prequel before, this was launched in 2023. After years of treating patients who felt overwhelmed by complicated routines, conflicting online advice, and trend-driven products, Dr. Ellis set out to create a skincare brand with a much simpler philosophy. She built Prequel, which was a range built around long-term skin health, barrier-supporting formulas, and straightforward education rather than just fleeting trends. And just 3 years later, the brand has become one of the internet's biggest beauty success stories, combining clinical dermatology with accessible everyday skincare. A little background on Dr. Samantha Ellis. She is a board-certified medical and cosmetic dermatologist based in the San Francisco Bay Area. But a lot of people know her more from her Instagram and TikTok, where she has built an audience of nearly 1 million followers by sharing honest, evidence-based skincare advice. After graduating from UCLA, she earned her medical doctorate from the University of Michigan before completing her dermatology residence at UC Davis, where she now serves as a clinical instructor of dermatology alongside running her own private practice. When Prequel launched, it launched with a core collection of fragrance-free, solution-focused products suitable for all skin types, including sensitive and compromised skin. So for a lot of people, their entrance into the brand is the cleanser. So this is a cleanser that is formulated with a 50% glycerin base that helps kind of clean in a different capacity without leaving a very dry feeling on your face. Praised by many online as one of the most hydrating cleansers they've ever used, its silky gel texture slides across the skin to cleanse, soothe, and comfort. And it's also a multitasker, so you don't have to just use it on your face. You can also use it on your body, so you can always have it in the shower to have that extra hydrating, cleansing option, as well as a nightly routine for your face. And apparently it's clinically tested to lock in 24 hours of pure moisture. It's packed with humectants, inulin, and aquaporin stimulating active, and it actually boosts your skin's suppleness while protecting your moisture barrier and pH. And apparently it also cleanses away makeup, excess oil, and daily impurities without leaving your face completely stripped. The launch lineup also includes the Pre-Cleanse, the Half and Half, the Redness Reform Serum, the Universal Skin Solution, the Multi-Acid Milk, and the AM/PM. So here's a quote from Dr. Ellis about it finally launching in the UK after many people begging for it. Quote, "The UK is Prequel's first home outside of the United States, and I'm so excited for more people to have it in their skincare routines. International expansion was part of the vision from day one, and Space NK felt like exactly the right fit to make that debut." Moving into new launches, Pepper Pout has released 2 new products, Twin Flames and Face Card, arriving alongside the brand's debut retail partnership with Revolve. If you're not familiar, Pepper Pout is a clean, vegan, cruelty-free, dermatologist-tested, and fragrance-free beauty brand that launched with some instant fan favorites. First up was their Sweet Spot Glossy Lip Stain, which is a hybrid lip stain and gloss that delivers buildable cover with long-lasting wear and no stickiness with the shine. And they also released their Hot Take Plumping Lip Liner, which is a velvet smooth, ultra blendable liner that sculpts, shapes, and plumps in one swipe. Pepper Pout was founded by Chinese-American Alizia Chen, and the brand celebrates duality through their philosophy, Own the Contrast. So pepper in the name draws from the Szechuan peppercorn, which is a tiny but mighty spice rooted in Chinese culture, known for its lingering, tingling sensation. And pout is a nod to the founder's self-described attitude that she's carried since childhood, equal parts bold and playful. So they built on their brand ethos earlier in June of this year, where they launched their 2 new products. The Twin Flames is Pepper Pout's first lip balm duo designed for every side of you. So the hydrating lip balm is the ultra cushiony balm powered by hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, peptides, jojoba oil, all those beautiful things that can help nourish your lips, while the plumping lip balm has the same hydrating formula but with a warming complex in chili pepper extract for that spicy plumping effect. So this is kind of the duality that the brand likes to promote, the kind of yin and the yang. When you want spicy, when you want sweet, you have your options in this lip balm duo. Both feature Pepper Pout's signature hoop design, so you can clip on to bags, your keys, and they both retail at $20 each. And they also launched their Face Card Blush Bombs, which is a creamy blush duo, again, inspired by the yin and yang duality, both in the packaging and in the results of each product. So the yin is a rich wine flush that adds mood and dimension, while the yang is a color reactive balm that adapts to your skin's pH for a personalized flush. Both of these products are formulated with shea butter that melts into the skin for a soft, diffuse flush with a hydrated skin-like finish. These retail at $25 each, even though if you buy the duos together, you'll save a few bucks. So if you're interested in having both in your collection, the packaging, especially on the blush packaging, is just beautiful and so thought through. I absolutely adore it. These are now available on their own website as well as part of their debut partnership with Revolve, so you can find it on Revolve's website as well. And Megan Thee Stallion decides to release a hot girl summer vibe with her new debut fragrance. The three-time Grammy Award winner has just unveiled her first ever fragrance, Hot Girl Summer Eau de Parfum, created in partnership with the beauty giant Coty. This limited edition unisex scent borrows its name from the very phrase that Megan turned into a global cultural phenomenon. Now, I didn't realize that she came up with Hot Girl Summer. That's impressive. That's some power. So here's a quote she said about creating this fragrance. Quote, "Perfume is the last thing you put on, but it's the first thing people remember. If you've ever hugged me, chances are you've asked what I was wearing, and now I can finally say it's my own fragrance. Launching Hot Girl Summer Eau de Parfum really gave me the opportunity to develop a scent that captures my essence and also brings one of my favorite beauty essentials to life in a way that it's true to me." End quote. This bottle, by the way, stunning, gorgeous, obsessed. So there's something about perfume bottles that I feel like we don't really get it as much anymore, but there's something really special about a unique bottle because you want your perfume out on display, and just having something like that, like a piece of art, it's beautiful. The scent is an intoxicating blend inspired by Megan's favorite notes: creamy coconut milk, orchid blooms, and warm vetiver oil. And despite the name, the brand promises it's designed to be worn all year round. It'll be available in two sizes, so the 90 ml will be $84 and the travel-friendly 10 ml will be $29. Hot Girl Summer Eau de Parfum will be available for early access starting July 5th, so by the time you listen to this, get on Ulta.com or MeganTheStallion.com, and the fragrance will officially arrive in Ulta Beauty stores on July 11th. And we have a few brand ambassadorships to discuss this week. Ali Larter is SkinCeuticals' new global ambassador. Best known for her roles in Varsity Blues, Final Destination, Heroes, and Resident Evil, Larter's career has spanned more than 30 decades. Also, by the way, Legally Blonde, one of the best roles. But more recently, she's won over a whole new generation of fans with her performance as Angela Norris in the show Landman opposite Billy Bob Thornton. But it's important to note this partnership isn't just another celebrity endorsement. Ali Larter has actually been using SkinCeuticals for over 2 decades. Here's a quote where she talks more about that. Quote, "I was first introduced to SkinCeuticals through my dermatologist, and C.E. Ferulic quickly became my gold standard. 20 years later, my skin has never looked better. I'm thrilled to partner with SkinCeuticals to show that when you invest in trusted skincare, the results speak for themselves." End quote. The best-selling C.E. Ferulic with 15% L-ascorbic acid has become one of SkinCeuticals' most iconic products. It also happens to be the #1 vitamin C serum recommended by U.S. dermatologists. Backed by over 20 years of clinical studies, the formula helps protect the skin from environmental damage while visibly tackling 8 signs of aging, including fine lines, loss of firmness, and dullness. As part of her new role, Larter will front a year-long campaign offering a behind-the-scenes look at the in-clinic treatments that she swears by and her personal skincare routine, including the high-performance at-home products she relies on. It's about mastering the ultimate power couple, advanced at-home products paired with professional aesthetic treatments to maximize results. Here's a quote from Julian Chardon, the global brand president of SkinCeuticals. Quote, "I'm thrilled to work with Ali Larter, whose career and presence in Hollywood has only become more iconic with time. Ali has trusted our science as an authentic user of SkinCeuticals long before this partnership began, making this moment especially meaningful." End quote. And I think in dream couple news, Dakota Johnson and Alexander Skarsgård team up for Valentino Beauty. Valentino Beauty has announced a major new fragrance campaign starring Golden Globe-winning actor Alexander Skarsgård alongside the Hollywood royalty that is Dakota Johnson. While details of the new scent remained under wraps, the upcoming campaign marks the beginning of a new era for Valentino Beauty. Created for a generation drawn to authenticity, connection, and unapologetic emotion, it reflects the brand's ambition to redefine modern intimacy. For Johnson, the partnership marks an organic evolution. She is already an established fashion ambassador for Maison Valentino, and for the brand, she effortlessly embodies a sense of graceful authenticity. Here's what she had to say about joining Valentino in this aspect. Quote, To me, intimacy is about honesty and connection. I'm drawn to Valentino Beauty's ability to celebrate individuality while creating something that feels both sensual and deeply human. End quote. Skarsgård brings a free-spirited personality that the brand says mirrors its warmth and celebration of self-expression. Here's what he had to say about joining the campaign. Quote, I couldn't be happier to join Valentino Beauty for this new chapter. There's something so compelling about the way the brand celebrates individuality, emotion, and connection. End quote. You can tell they're not giving us very much for a reason. Although the fragrance, like I said, has yet to be revealed, the campaign is expected to build on Valentino Beauty's signature codes of color, cool, and couture. Rooted in its vibrant backdrop of Rome, the brand celebrates inclusivity, creative design, sensorial textures, and a bold sense of self-confidence. Lastly, here's a quote from Claudia Marocci, the global president of Valentino Beauty. Quote, we are pleased to welcome Dakota Johnson and Alexander Skarsgård to the Valentino Beauty family. Their unique personalities and magnetic presence perfectly embody the emotional intensity at the heart of this new era. End quote. We'll be keeping an eye out for what this fragrance actually is and what the campaign's going to look like. With these two, who knows, but I'm looking forward to it. So for market shift news, I want to spend a little time talking about Ulta Beauty's strategy on understanding Gen Alpha consumers. So Gen Alpha, by the way, are people born between 2010 and 2024. But what Ulta Beauty is really focused on are children and teens aged 8 to 17. So they are partnering with consumer intelligence company Nielsen IQ to conduct a custom survey of more than 500 US-based children and teens in that age bracket, plus their parents. Here's a quote from Kelly Mahoney, the Chief Marketing Officer of Ulta Beauty. Quote, we really made it our mission to want to understand who they are and what they're motivated by. Most importantly, we want to create an experience of the future that allows them to start off their journey in beauty and wellness in the most healthy way. End quote. So the goal of this survey was to learn about their preferences and motivations, as well as how they feel about and interact with AI tools. For Anna Mayo, the Vice President of Beauty at Nielsen IQ, the most surprising find was the importance of parents in shaping what Gen Alpha wants to explore, buy, and replenish. According to the survey called Ulta Beauty's Smart Beauty Study, 55% of respondents say they learn about beauty and personal care from their parents, while 52% learn from peers and 51% learn from social media. Anna Mayo had this to say about these results. Quote, parents are the most important influence on their purchasing. We definitely see a lot of cross-influence where kids are influencing the parents and the parents are influencing the kids. They're shopping together and they're trying to understand these categories together. End quote. Slightly lower in the ranking of how Gen Alpha learns about beauty is trying products in store, watching online tutorials, and conducting online searches. But perhaps the most surprising stat they found was that less than 20% of Gen Alpha respondents say they learn about beauty and personal care from influencers. That's wild to me that influencing is so low on the, especially because TikTok, I feel like they're all on the TikToks now. It seems that they're really finding, they're not really focused on influencers particularly. I think they just like seeing other people on social media try products, but I don't think they're necessarily focused on whether or not the person is an influencer specifically. Do you know what I mean? I think that's such an interesting shift. According to the survey, 1/3 of parents and guardians say the most important way retailers can build trust is by creating safe, welcoming environments for Gen Alpha, including age-appropriate assortments, clear ingredient labeling, and knowledgeable in-store associate guidance. Ulta Beauty has now said they're going to utilize these findings to create a new shopping experience. Here's another quote from Kelly Mahoney, again, the Chief Marketing Officer of Ulta Beauty. Quote, this particular cohort should be important to everybody. What makes us so distinct in this is we have such a right to provide that trusted beauty and wellness authority. I'm really optimistic about the future for us, and we take it on with great responsibility. End quote. There's a little bit more information about the study results in this article on Glossy, so I will obviously put it in the show notes like I do with all of my sources, but if you are interested in seeing more numbers about Gen Alpha, how the different genders use makeup, how they're utilizing AI, if they are at all, there's a lot more in here, so if that does interest you, of course, feel free to go check it out. But it seems like Gen Alpha, they're really starting to focus even younger and trying to get in as their first step into the beauty wellness space. So Gen Alpha is going to lead the way for the rest of us. From the yin and yang in beauty products to a secret Valentino Beauty fragrance to some Gen Alpha research, that's your roundup of this week's top beauty stories. Stay tuned for the next Beauty Bulletin as we track the shifts shaping how we shop, wear, and experience beauty. And please don't forget to like, rate, subscribe, share. It really helps the podcast out a lot. I appreciate you. I do want to note that I will be taking a few weeks off, a little rest for me, but I will be back at the end of the month with more brand deep dives and, of course, more beauty news. So I'll see you next time.